Tottenham, man, you know, Sky are the lyrical magician attack, you know. And today, me I encourage all of my sports lovers them to go up on YouTube and like one page named Sports Frenzy because them are going to provide you with the latest football, basketball, and track and field, etc. All of the news them. Right now, a World Cup time and a transfer time, and we need to know what go on. So go up on YouTube and like the page named Sports Frenzy.
All right, everyone. Welcome again. Welcome to another show, another Sports Friends podcast. And as you know, and if you don't know by now, then I'm your host, Levon. And yeah, today's a Monday. And generally, you know that once EPL happens over a weekend, then we're definitely going to be here to break it down for you guys based on whatever transpired. And I mean, it was a very interesting weekend. A lot of interesting action actually took place, man. A lot that had some fans crying already and some overjoyed. I mean, as I can see, I still have a rep beside, man. No matter what, I still come here rep beside, no matter. Seeing so, Michelle, big up yourself as always. Fabi friend, big up yourself, my boss. Long time to see you about. Big up, man. Big up, big up. And I'll be joined by Kim shortly. So for now, I'm just going to go solo. But as I mentioned, man, a lot of interesting action over the weekend. Started off with Arsenal. I mean, talked about it a bit on Friday that they won by 2 goals to nil. Um, Martinelli scored the first goal, and then the other was an own goal. And then on Saturday was where the real action really started. And what better way? Early morning match, watching Fulham. Fulham decided that, hey, we're not here to just play around, man. We're not here to just go down without a fight. And they did put up a stern fight against the Liverpool team. And goes back to what Demo had said on Friday that Marco Silva over the years has generally given club trouble. Came out the blocks, and there's Alexander Mitrovic, a man that was in the Premier League for a while and never really kicked on much, but here he was, he bullied Trent, and he got himself a well taken goal. And if you look at how he played right through that game itself, um, he himself also bullied Van Dijk as well. So Mitrovic played a very good game and a good game overall from them. And I mean, Liverpool did what was expected of them. I mean, the coach criticized them that certain aspects of the game he never really liked. He thought they were slow in regards to their play and all of that. But my surprise was that he actually started with Firmino. I never expected Firmino to start. Brought in Nunez, and even if you look at in the coming this year, Nunez was the difference maker when he came on. Really, he did make a huge, huge difference. So I really expected to have seen Nunez starting, but wasn't to be. And yeah, as Frano is saying that, I said it will be difficult. Yeah, man, Frano. So I know that you're more jubilant now. Now that you get a point, you're more in a jubilant mode than when you're actually down what 2-1 at one point in time. I mean, as I said it, Nunez came on, and Nunez was the one who really helped to start the revival for Liverpool. And I think Jason is making here's Jason saying that Mitrovic trying very hard to crush the narrative that he doesn't perform in the Premier League. Well, it's only the first game and he has already scored twice, so let us see how much he can actually garner because as I just pointed out, over the years he hasn't done well in the Premier League. But the player that I saw in the championship last season banging in goals all around and setting a record, this player is a total different player right now. So I hope that he has grown up and he has matured. I will actually score at least 15 goals, 15 to 17 goals in the Premier League, honestly. So let us see. Jeremy Watson, big up yourself as always, man. Um, as I said, Fulham took the lead in the first half. Liverpool came out in the second half, and if you look at it, they were determined to play better. Salah and Nunez linked up. Nunez finished off the first chance, and then after that, Liverpool gave away a penalty, and a lot of people, a debatable penalty. A lot of people are saying that it's not, while some are saying that it is. So, yeah, Liverpool started to get back in the game more and more. Decided they're going to take over the game now, and Fulham were trying to do their thing, as I mentioned. At one point in the second half, Fulham had like 40% possession. I was like, damn, they're actually trying to play football. So that was a shocker for me because, again, you expect Liverpool to really dominate them. No, eventually, Liverpool got the equalizer through Salah, but it goes back to something that we have discussed on the show before that I personally think that Liverpool is lacking a midfielder. Thiago cannot keep fit. And I think I saw earlier this evening that he is actually out for what? He's actually out for 2 months, I believe. I stand corrected, but I think I saw that he's gonna be on the sidelines for the next 2 months. So not looking good for the Liverpool team right there because Thiago has been pulling the strings from a good while now in from last season, and it's not good on that standpoint. And then Fabinho also developed themselves, so I think they're lacking a midfielder. Will they sign one? That's $1 million question. Frano, you tell me, do you think your side need another midfielder? Because as I put it out there before, and as I said, Thiago is a creative spark in that midfield, and based on the team that you know of, especially with Nunez, you really need a creative player right there. And as I pointed out, and yes, friend is saying that Liverpool were very lackluster in their performance. When I say Fabinho giving out position so easy, it tells about our game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it wasn't a polished performance from Liverpool. But then again, people can say it's the same thing that they did last season in their opener and eventually turn it into a title race. So here's friend again saying that it's a penman, whether marginal touch or not. Yeah, for me it wasn't, but as I'm saying that you have a lot of people that are going to debate that it wasn't. Um, Jason saying that United should send Andres Pereira. He said ball. Bro, they're easy, but yeah, Liverpool 2-all, and you look at the match statistics, man. Let's run through that quickly. So I'm gonna just get the graphic on the screen to show you exactly what we're talking about. Because this is something that I plan to do more of the season, showing you guys more graphics. And as I pointed out the other night, we're going to be having more watch alongs to the Premier League, Champions League, and all the leagues that they can possibly think of. We're going to do it, man. And here's the statistics for the game. So Liverpool had 11 shots versus 9 for Fulham. Liverpool had 4 on target. Fulham had 3. Fulham 33% possession, Liverpool 67. When you look at passes, Liverpool completed 612. Pass accuracy was poor. And this is what Frano is talking about in regards to Fabinho, that he gave away the ball a lot. Because look at this. This is poor for a Liverpool team. And 77% possession pass accuracy. That is poor, man. But they did end up getting a point from the game. And I think Liverpool fans are feeling much more happy about Fulham might have feel undone because they did play some decent football at point in time. So yeah, they probably still feel away, but I think Liverpool lacked the cutting edge in this game, and they could have done better in some aspects. Fran is saying that getting another midfielder when the others coming back wouldn't make sense right now. It will lessen the game of Elliott and Carvalho. But the question is, and the $1 million question really is, are you guys willing to give Harvey Elliott and Fabio Carvalho enough game time? A lot of people are saying that they're immature and they're not really ready for the youth step up in the Premier League. And come on, let us be honest. Fabio Carvalho and Harvey Elliott isn't nowhere near the class of a Thiago. So I just put it out there that you guys need another midfielder because of the injury history of Thiago. He has really become injury prone since he has been at your club. So that's what I'm getting at. We're now joined by the man himself, man, the controversial one, the voice. Voice, well gone. You're muted.
What's going on, man? Big up everybody who tune in, watching, and you know, talk some nice football right now.
So
Yeah, talk.
I was just chatting about the Liverpool game. Do you have anything to say about it?
Um, well, I was rather surprised. Again, the Liverpool playing, such a powerhouse team. I know it's the first game. I know it's the first game of the season, and but I never expect that lackluster performance from them. But again, as I heard you say, I must give Fulham credit, right? Because Fulham go out there like they're playing against a team that they know they can beat, that they know they can compete with. They were never shy in their approach. They never just sit back and just, okay, let's just try and see if we can hit Liverpool on the counter. They actually went out there to play football. And, a lot of persons were playing down, my name, Mitrovic. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, a lot of persons playing him down. Oh, I'm not good, or a championship baller because he scored so much goal in championships. But he gave Van Dijk the work, right? And I never rate Van Dijk as a big defender. I think he always run away from actually defending. And you see, when he's actually put in the position to actually defend, we saw what happened, right? Mitrovic square him up and then gave away a penalty. And we can argue, was it a penalty, was it not? We can argue that all day. The fact of the matter is the defender did the wrong thing, and the attacker benefited from it. I think the result was fair. I think the
I
result
agree.
was fair. I think each team getting a point because obviously, we can say, oh, Henderson hit the post, hit the crossbar, but then you have the baller from Fulham who hit the post as well, right? So, those are the things. But when all said and done, I think a draw is a fair result for both teams.
Completely agree with you, bro. And with that being said, we're just going to move on to the next game. And the next game we're going to look at is Bournemouth against Aston Villa. And the reason why I went there, remember the other night I said it in no wins equates to no wins.
Yep.
So it was rather Kansa and Diego. What I'm saying, yeah, it was Kansa and Diego Carlos who started in the back line. Magina's captain and all those stuff. And Leon Bailey started up front. He did, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he played the full 90. Now this is not
I
something.
believe so. Yeah.
This is not really something that to say about Leon Bailey, So apparently he has really been doing something in preseason and also in training. So it was good to see him out there. And then look at this man who pointed out earlier that Bournemouth haven't really done much business in terms of good signings. But the key thing that I think it was you who pointed it out that we may never know that they're probably just sticking to the core that brought them through the championships and say, here what, we're going to
Yeah.
live by them and die by them. So I think
Yeah.
that's what they're doing. They've added one and two pieces, but it's not really marquee signings, you would say. They
Yeah.
signed a defender today, Marcos Senesi from Feyenoord. It's an Argentinian central defender. So before we get into it, first, God, big up yourself as always, bro. Respect, man. But you look at this Bournemouth against Villa game. I think Villa lacked a lot in terms of cutting edge. They weren't at their best in terms of shooting, and
Uh,
boy, Bournemouth did what they had to. Bournemouth got their chances and they did take them. So what you have to say about this one?
well, I said it. A lot of people tell me about cancer and all that, and I said, listen, if Mings don't play, because Mings is always the easiest person to blame. Oh, he's a LBW. Oh, I'm clumsy. Oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. But I say, under Steven Gerrard, and I'll continue to say, this man has been a top six defender in the Premier League. I'm not mincing my words. That is what I mean. Top six, right? And I don't know what flip in a Gerrard head to say, oh, take the captaincy from him. I want thing to take the captaincy, but it's another thing. We don't have a man that has been starting for the club for so long. To just put him on the bench like that, right? And then my mother always tell me, you reap what you sow. And Gerard definitely reap what he sow. Starting those two central defenders back there, obviously, that was going to be a L for Aston Villa. And, you know, not not alert enough, not aggressive enough. And when those corners and those squares are coming in, it's not assertive enough. Nobody talking, nobody vocal enough. Magin as a captain, I don't know. Listen, and again, it's one game, so I'm not going to do too much about it, but I have to react to it, right? Because again, Aston Villa is not that team that can afford to drop points like these. Like you can't drop points like these, and you have
I have a
Everton
million
coming.
dollar question for you ask you still, but finish up.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that and I'm saying, I can't say, a lot of persons, even when we're doing the betting thing, a lot of persons say, yeah, man, Aston Villa for win. And I say, I'm not touching that game because I know that, once I see the starting lineup, I say, yeah, I say, boy, Bournemouth will win 1-0, but they may not win 2-0, right? But Aston Villa, as you said, out of sync, out of whack. The midfield was bad, the forwards were bad, the defense was bad, the goalkeeping was bad, the coaching was bad, everything was bad. It was just a bad game, and again, it's one game. There's 37 more to go. So,
Talking about that,
mhm,
you know that the ticket that Demo built, one,
mhm.
you
It
remember
can't,
that ticket
it can't win.
huh?
Him have Villa panic, man. Him have Villa
You
full
did?
win. Yeah,
Positive?
positive. Him have Villa full win and him have Liverpool full win.
No, man. Switch. Remember, say Liverpool was switched back to Salah to score, man. Remember, say I switched it to Salah to score.
Oh, that
Yeah,
our
and
usage
remember
it for
that Liverpool
too.
was selling
But
dollar
yeah,
dollar 30 at win, and I switched it to Salah to score, and that went to $1.83.
Yeah, but him choose Aston Villa. None of we create the ticket now in nothing, boss.
I have to watch it back up. I'm going to check it back in there.
Yeah, man, check it back, man.
Them, big up yourself, them. I'm not sure if you're a football person, but big up yourself, them. I know that you're right always here when it comes on the tracks, but respect, man. We love the support as always, man. Pepe Paul was saying that Mings is a good defender,
Yeah,
and Frano is saying that the goals that were scored against Villa were team problems. It wasn't so much individual mistakes.
yeah, Franny, you can look and again, what we tend to do as, if you want to say analysts or if you want to say fans of the game, we tend to look and we'll probably say, hey, the goal they will score is because there's a team mistake. But I'm not talking about just the goal they score. I'm talking about the overall approach. The team as a defensive unit, they were just not solid. They just never solid round there. When Mings is round there and in the defense, trust me, when Mings is round there and in the defense, this man marshal the defense. You know that there's a central defender back there. Kamsan, this Carlos dude, I'm looking. Is Matty Cash the central defender? Is Digny the central? What's going on? I can't pick out the central defender. What's up? So when Mings is around there, I know that this man is around there marshalling, telling persons where to go. Right back, you should be there. Left back, you should be there. Hey, guy, push up a little bit. Hey, cover me. I hear the talking that's going on. No, it's like they're playing, street ball like a little six-a-side thing. That's absolutely atrocious. And, they got the beating that they deserve.
All right, so the $1 million question, right,
Yep.
is about one Steven Gerrard. So I'm not sure if I remember Gary Neville tenure at Valencia. Do you?
Yeah.
And that he was sacked early out because he wasn't getting the results, and he had like a 35% win percentage from the games that he actually coached them. Now, Steven Gerrard, up until the game that Villa played against Bournemouth, he had an identical record just like Gary Neville. I think it has now fallen to around 33% in terms of the games that he has won as Villa manager. Question to you now is that should Steven Gerrard start just get a microscope and start look on him now?
The thing is, I think it's really difficult to see. Remember, this man took over a team that was
Struggling.
going nowhere fast, right? And, I think even though the quote-unquote results on paper didn't really show, I think the culture that he was able to cultivate in that Villa locker room, the changes that he was able to make in some players, we saw more of that kid Ramsey. We saw more of him come to the forefront. And, the way how he wants to play football, we see an identity of the team. Under that guy that they got now, which I don't remember his name. Under him, same. Under him, it was absolutely shambles, right? So again, but what I'm saying now, Steven Gerrard have 10 games. Him have 10 games. Because remember, it's 16 games before the World Cup, 22 games after. You have 10 games. For sure, me. And I remember, look at the schedule. It's Everton next. You can't lose against Everton, no matter what. You cannot lose against Everton. If you lose against Everton, then you're going to start hearing some little whispers going on and stuff, right? Because again, now you have to understand in the level on what the owners doing. What the owners do, the owners say, okay, you want Coutinho? Here. You want Luca Digny? Here. You want Carlos? Here. You want this person? Here.
Yeah, you want Kamara? Well, this. You want a backup left back? Well, this.
You get everything that you have demanded from us. Now, what we are demanding from you is some results. And if you can produce those results, you have to go.
Yes, Fran is saying that not yet Levan. Don't judge him when he arrives, judge him when he leaves. No. And Chris Lynch put it perfectly. Yes, Chris Lynch saying that Stephen G got a full preseason, so he's under the microscope. Huh? Of course he has to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
As Kim would say, he's on the clock.
Like this is Frano. I couldn't hire Frano as no director on my team because that coach will always be there. That coach will get the amount of chances. No, Frano. I'm not judging him when he leaves. I'm judging him. Listen, when I get in Steven Gerrard, Last year, you do whatever. This year, you come to me as the owner and you ask me for 10 new players, you get them. You ask me for somebody for psychoanalyze the people, them brain and all them something, you get them. Yes, you say you want new chefs, you get them. Everything that you have asked me for as the owner, you have gotten. Now, as the owner, I am asking you for one thing. I want us to be competitive. I want us to beat the teams that we're supposed to beat and be competitive in the games that we know say we're overmatched. We're going up against a Liverpool, a Manchester City, a Spurs, and so let's be competitive in those games. But when we're playing against a Bournemouth, a Everton, and Leeds, those teams we're supposed to be able to beat them convincingly and still look good. No, I don't know the objectives that they set within the boardroom and so, but one would deduce that we're saying, okay, they have never finished in the top 10 over a decade now. I think, okay, guess what now, Mr. Steven Gerrard? I want you to finish in the top 10. That's all I'm asking you for. And the amount of money that Aston Villa have spent, I think that is a fair ask.
You know, sir, right now you're onto something because let us be realistic. And people might say, oh, remember, I'm having team long enough and whatever not. But look at Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
Brighton hasn't spent basically nothing in this transfer window, you know.
No.
Last season,
them sell players actually.
Correct. They sold two of their best players, right? And look at what they're doing. And they finished ninth last season. So based on what Gerrard had plus what he has added, if Gerrard fails to make that top 10, as a matter of fact, 10 games, I say, 10 games, we can say Villa right off between 12 to around 7 thereabouts. We're going to drop the leather belt for Gerrard.
Yeah. Listen, put up that last comment by Frano about top 10. Okay. So, Frano, again, you are a coach for where you are coaching. And I'm saying, Steven Gerrard is a coach for Aston Villa. And I am judging Steven Gerrard, the Aston Villa coach. And if he believes the Leon Bailey, the Danny Ings, the Ollie Watkins, all those players, the Philippe Coutinho, all those players, if he believes these players are good enough, these are the players who I'm spend the money on. These are the players who give extended contracts. These are the players who, remember, again, and we might look at it and say, oh, this is such a silly decision. Listen, who you give the captaincy, it tells a lot. Now I'm looking at McGinn, and I'm not saying he's not a player who play with heart, and I'm not saying he's a player, he's one of those utility players. I want you to do everything on the field, you do everything. Okay. But when I'm looking at Mr. Steven Gerrard's choice. Why would I choose McGinn as my captain? I'm looking at that. Why would I take the captaincy from Mings and use McGinn as my captain? Those are the things that I'm looking at. I'm having Steven Gerrard under the microscope. Do you really know what you're doing? And yes, I understand what you did with Rangers. But as Steven Gerrard well knows, the English Premier League is a total different ballgame than over the Scottish League. Correct. Right? And listen, and I've always said it, millionaire owners have been way less patient nowadays. They don't have no time to give you 5 years for your project. It's right now, and if they can't produce the results, then you got to go through the door. So everything that Steven Gerrard do will be under the microscope. And 10 games in, again, if he loses to Frank Lampard this upcoming weekend, trust me, you're going to hear some little whispers. Hey, I don't think this guy's got the job.
And guess what? Ryan joined at the right time because we're on Gerrard right now. So the question that I asked was that, should Gerrard be placed under the microscope? 35 winning percentage, and I think it has dropped to 33% now. And I mean, he has had a full preseason. So Kim said he's giving him 10 games. 10 games into this season. If Gerrard don't have them between 12 to 7 thereabouts, he need to go through the door.
All right. 10 games is fair. As for the question that you asked, would I have him under the microscope? And you named some stats a while ago. But I saw some other stats as well that said that Gerrard, the run that Gerrard was on, how much games did he get? About half of the season or something like that? Mm-hmm. So they were saying that if he had a 38-game season with those same stats, he'd have finished 9th. So apparently one win in 3 games would get you 9th. So somehow that would have gotten him 9th based on what was worked out. But yeah, he has to be under the microscope now because of the fact that he has improved his team. He has gotten in the players that he wants. But I think 10 games is fair to see what type of players that he has gotten and how they are playing and all of that, because it's now his players, now his team, now his captain. Because when you listen to the interview, why he chose McGinn, he mentioned his reasons. He said that he had a conversation with Mings first, which is the right thing to do when you're taking the captaincy from somebody or any leadership position. You go to them first and let them know. And he said he had that conversation, and he also chose McGinn because McGinn is his type of player. And I have no issue with that, because I believe a coach should select his captain. So
Ryan, so the thing is, right? Great point. So the thing is, I'm not saying I have a problem with him choosing McGinn as a captain, but again, I'm saying that these decisions that he makes now, every decision must be scrutinized. Because
I agree with that.
if McGinn now out there doing a bunch of crap and cannot lead the team, and I'm not seeing that the leadership being
he mentioned McGinn's leadership quality, in that McGinn is very popular in the dressing room. He galvanizes the players that listen to him and all of that. So he mentioned that McGinn is his type of captain. So maybe when Gerrard go in the dressing room, him look and say, "Oh, McGinn is like me. He's a midfielder like me. He talks like me. He's professional like me when I was a player." Maybe he sees those things. So maybe that's why I went with McGinn to be his captain. And I have no issue with a coach choosing his captain. I believe coaches should choose their captain. Say Everton, Lampard chose Pickford.
Yeah.
So these are, I believe, when you're going as a coach, you do that. You do those things. You make it known that, hey, this is my team now. These are the players I want. This is the captain I want. And so basically, you have to give him time, and from that, you judge him.
All right, and the man that a lot of people are asking for is final year. So quickly, let's jump back to that game. So, good night, Sir D. Modri. How are you doing? How that you feel better
Big
tonight?
up, big up everybody. Good man, we're there.
All right, so quickly, tell us about your team.
We no pass Liverpool already, boss.
Yeah, man, we want to hear your take, man.
I mean, I think everybody would have said it in the comment section. The team, I can say that they look very lackluster. They look like they were just, coming out to show that they're Liverpool and they're expected to beat Fulham. They played that way, like they were entitled to win. And Fulham were just the better team on the day. I mean, for me, we were pretty fortunate to come away with a draw. Not until Elliot, Nunez, and James Milner. I mean, 36-year-old James Milner came on the field. That's when we looked kind of like we wanted to win the game. And by then it was too late. Mitrovic have a point to prove. And Fulham got what they deserve. I think the real analysis there, Liverpool just never turned up to the game, and Fulham were the better team.
Boy, I wish that demon the other day when that analyzed as to that would be the winner of the team, the competition.
Wait. Everybody here today say we have 4 and 5. I was the only person here who said that this coach always give Klopp a problem. I'm a predict a 3-1 victory to Liverpool.
I said it, man, that you were kind of concerned about it, that Silva always give Klopp problems. But what I'm saying is that the other day when we were predicting the winner of the EPL, I wish you were like this, man, because guess what? What you just said, no, boss, it's the most fair I've ever heard you talk about your team, you know.
That's definitely not true, but we carry on.
But let's move on to the next game, man, and that is Newcastle against Nottingham Forest. And I'm going to start with Ryan on this one. Man, Eddie seems like he's just going on a different level right now. Newcastle played some super football. I mean, honestly, the opponents were just awful. Can't go around that. Nottingham was just awful. They offered nothing whatsoever in the front line, and I think Steve Cooper needs to get this team together ASAP. One issue that they had was that they waited too long to make these signings. They should have signed them earlier so you could have them for a full preseason instead of signing them this late.
But signings going on, everybody going to get the same time you want them. So some signings going to be more protracted than others. So you can't really blame him for that per se, because I mean, as it is right now, he's still going to get more signings. I'm hearing, and so it's going to take some time to gel, especially the man basically signed a new 11 plus other players.
Yeah,
So it's
Lingard
going to
can't
take
start
some
for
time
me.
for them to gel. Huh?
Lingard can't start for me. Anyways, separate apart from that, man. Bruno Guimaraes, Jolinton, superb in midfield, man. But that goal from Fabian Scheer, jeez, Dean Henderson never saw that one bit. He couldn't even touch that one. So, classic goal from them, man. And Callum Wilson, as Kems was the one who pointed out from last season that once Callum Wilson is fit, Callum Wilson is the man for Newcastle. And I
Yep.
mean,
Is
the
the
thing,
man to bring them how far though?
yeah, but that is what I'm going to go to now. It's good for where they are now, but going forward, I think they really need some people in that front line because there's no way you take what. I think they took like 24 shots in the game, and I
20,
just went nothing on the
23,
score. So
23 shots.
23 and only scored twice, and it's not a lot that were on target. So when I look at it, and I mean, Almiron and the man they can't
Dean
start.
had some comfortable saves. Dean curl up on some of the ball them easy.
So when you look at this, man, what you thought about Newcastle's performance?
I didn't see all of the game, but from what I saw, Newcastle were clearly better team. Bruno ran the show. Um,
They really did.
Nottingham looked disjointed. So I mean, it's going to take time for Nottingham to gel because to be honest with you, it was two good coaches, on that day. But one, you can say one have his team a lot longer than the other. So it comes down to that for me. So you have to give Nottingham time.
All right. Kems, anything you have to say about it?
What I'll say is Nottingham look like a newly relegated team, a newly promoted team, sorry. Right? And listen, Bournemouth and
You
Fulham
get
look
it
like
right the first time.
Bournemouth and Fulham look like they're in the Premier League to stay. But Nottingham look like where am I? I shouldn't be here. I am lost, right?
That's correct.
They took 5 shots and they had no shots on target. They had about 38% possession. They were it seemed like I was watching freaking Manchester City versus Mona High playing football. Listen, Nottingham could not touch the ball, and when they touch the ball, they give it away right away. Just
Yeah.
like and then the series just continues. So listen, Newcastle did what they're supposed to do. I think they took a little bit too long to score. I know I got this prediction all the way wrong. I said it's going to be a 2-all draw. I don't know what I was smoking, but clearly I was smoking something strong.
Wrong.
But Newcastle did what they're supposed to do, got the 3 points, and they move on. Nottingham, as Ryan said, they'll get it together. But listen, they need to get it together quickly because there's not enough time for you to turn this around. Because the string of games that they have coming up look like L, and more L.
Yeah. Dima, I'm going to have to
Listen. No. Oh, go ahead.
No, man, sure.
No, because I am not going to let people here get away. Everything good that was with Newcastle on that game, St. Maximum was involved along with Bruno. St. Max was arguably one of the best players on that field for Newcastle. Him, Bruno, Almiron on the other side, and Fabian Scheer in defense as well. So people just come here and act like, say, whenever St. Max play good, them now give him no props. I am here for it this season. The man was absolutely electric in that game. From the 3rd minute of that game, he was making things click for Newcastle. So all this talk about when the money come, he might go be one of the players where the owners are gonna look for ship out and all of this nonsense. St. Maximum, and he maybe even played at the Gucci headband. That make it even worse. But the man was absolutely electric in that game, and people are gonna give the man in props. We have probably 2 other goal contenders of the season already in a one game because they were 2 outstanding. People really underestimate that flick from Callum Wilson in Nottingham. So I think Newcastle
or was it clean?
Clean,
man. Clean.
that was a contender for goal of the season. But Newcastle were out of this world in that game, and the class showed. The class really showed.
So Kems, hear what? Nah, beat St. Max again, no boss. After the match done, them so the man buy a fan of Rolex in the brother. So he's a good guy. How come and leave?
To talk about him football, boss.
Yeah, so this is it, Levon. Anytime I talk about St. Max, I've only discussed his football, right? Or lack thereof, right? Either one of them you can tell me.
Jaja.
Again, someone mentioned, Demo mentioned around 5 to 6 players that played well. All right, let's give St. Max some credit, but he still wasn't the standout performer. When I'm looking and I'm saying, who's the standout performer? I'll go to Bruno before I'll go to a St. Max. But again, if you want to get credit, give credit to St. Max. I hope he keeps up that consistency at least 25, 27 games out of the 38 games.
All right, and once again, as I always say, big up to the real Bruno. That man has been class ever since he signed for Newcastle. And I mean, as I pointed out, I've been watching him from he was at Lyon, and I saw that he was a quality player. And right now, that man is probably worth 70 million. If you go to Newcastle right now, nothing less than that can get to that player. And it's just been improving more and more, and I love to see it, man.
When he left Brazil, which was the first team that he went to?
I think it was Lyon.
Sure.
I'm not 100%. I could check it out. Let me go.
I remember he was linked to Chelsea when he was leaving Brazil, but I don't remember who he went to first. And that's when I started to pay attention to him when he got that link.
But the next game I want to talk about, and I'm sorry with Demo on this one because Demo said it from the other night, and it was expected. Yeah, I was correct. Leon was very win. So he was at Atletico Paranaense, and then he left there and went to Leon. So he went to Leon in 2020.
21?
2020.
Just 2020. When it was 2018 leave.
Uh-uh.
I thought it was 2018 or something like that.
Oh,
just
man,
like that.
Because I remember at one point he was linked to even PSG and all those clubs, So yeah. But the next game now, Dima mentioned it the other night, and man, he said that this would easily be 4 or 5 for Tottenham, and they did prove him correct. Could have easily been more. I mean, a lot of people thought that they were in for a long day when Southampton went ahead and took the lead, but the class of Tottenham showed, and once again, that guy, the man that Dima said looks the form for a footballer, talking about one Kulusevski. He was at the heart of everything, and very good outing for Spurs, and they are a title contender. So look at this game, I have to say about it.
Boss, like we can make me leave this down now. I already pass and apologize for the whole Kulusevski thing from probably the 6th game of the season. I mean, Southampton, they're just so unpredictable. People just you can't really say what gonna happen if they're gonna stay up or not stay up. And as I said, they're probably going to be one of the teams battling for relegation as well, along with probably 5 or 6 others. That was a brilliant Ward-Prowse goal. Gineppo did really well. He's always a tricky player once he's in the team. Just don't have the end product as a lot of wingers in the league. But Ward-Prowse, boy, that technical ability of that youth, I think he probably need for leave now and find a bigger club to get the credit to him. Yeah, if we get the credit to him deserve, because that goal was technically brilliant. And again, I don't know when people think Spurs are probably in trouble after that, but they were always on top of that game, and they're just so dominant. I know Kane didn't get the goal and all of that stuff. I think they scored all of the goals and Kane and Son never get none, and that means trouble for the rest of the league. Because if they're scoring 4 and Kane and Son never score, then goals are coming from all over. And especially with Conte as a coach, he have those wing back bombing forward. Sessegnon is a great example of the goal that they're getting. And what a ball that was from Kulusevski. Boy, I was so wrong with him. So wrong. But it's very weird that they didn't even use none of them new signings. They played with basically the same team. Well, they started with the same team that they had from last season. And again, worries for the rest of the league when everybody start gelling and play. So big up to Spurs, and like I said, upset for the top 2. You're going to be right up there come end of the season, but them just go fall off at the end and finish 3rd.
All right, Ryan.
Well, I disagree that there will be a title contender. There will be a title pretender for sure, because that's what Tottenham do. And it's not because of Conte why they won't win the league, is because of them being Tottenham why they won't win the league. And the other 2 teams are just better. So as it stands right now, I have them to come 3rd. people saying they are fit and all of that. Yeah, that's what Conte normally do, get his players fit. But let us see how long. Remember, it's just the first game in, so let us see how long. But it was a very good game. They went behind, great goal, and found a way to come back. And we all know that Kane not going don't normally score in August. So I'm just getting his fitness together. I'm always Kane seemed like one of those strikers that will like run down people in the goal scoring shot. So let us see what happened this trip. Um, but yeah, Son and Kane and those guys, they'll get it together soon, and Tottenham will be up there, probably a top three team. But good game from them overall, and great win.
All right, Kems.
So I think we have to be very careful how we try to insert certain teams up there with the two heavy hitters, right? Um, Listen, I don't think Tottenham is a team right now we can deal with a big injury to one of the quote unquote stars. For example, like a hurricane or if a sun out for an extended period of time. We have to also remember that this is also a World Cup year, right? So anything can happen during that time as well. So I would be very hesitant before I say Tottenham. They look good the first game, but again, it's just one game. I'm not going to overreact, and I'm not going to downplay them. What they did last year. Making Conte describe it as the greatest achievement of his career. To allow them to make it to top four. Good for him. But I'm not going to just over. I cannot see Tottenham competing with Man City and Liverpool for those top two spots. I just can't see. I cannot see it at all unless something absolutely catastrophic happens. I just can't see. They'll play some good football. They'll be up and down as they always are. But as Ryan said, pretenders. I'll give them the pretenders title, but I can't give them the top two. I have way too much respect and admiration for those two teams, and I can't put Tottenham in that class just as yet. They'll beat a City, they'll beat a Liverpool in our one game, but for the duration of a 38-game season, I can't see them up there. But good game against Southampton. They did what they're supposed to do. As Levon said, and Demo could have been 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, because they were that dominant. But again, they have a nice test coming up this weekend. Let us see how they look this weekend, right? And then we can take it from there game by game.
And here's Fran saying that I think Tottenham midfield needs tightening up a little too much space. Show what Pro should showing us he needs to be in a better team. Yeah, they must said it as well. And I've been saying it from last season that he has been like that for a minute now. But next game we're going to look at is Leeds against Wolves. I know a lot of people predicted that Wolves beating Leeds, but as I said, that American and his American team are going to stay up in this league, and they won by 2 goals to 1. Daniel Podence gave Wolves the lead, and finally, after a long while, they have signed another player. And you don't have to ask his nationality because, of course, you guys know which nationality he actually is. So they have signed another Portuguese in Gonçalo Guedes from Valencia. So Guedes is now a Wolves player. So yeah, second player in, and they're looking to get more. But Leeds responded through Rodrigo, and I think it was Demo mentioned it that he has been looking good in preseason, and
Yeah.
Leeds the equalizer, and then it was an own goal. Initially, Brendan Aronson was claiming the goal, but they gave it as an own goal to Ryan Aït-Nouri. So Leeds picked up a valuable 3 points in their race for survival because this is where their survival starts. So this was a very good 3 points to pick up at Ellen Road. So anyone of you guys can take it on.
I didn't see it, so can't really.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it just when you mention it when we were doing the build up to the shows, and you mentioned the Connor Cody thing, boss. It just don't look good, brother. Connor Cody, I mean, him now end up at Everton again, blasphemous, fair Liverpool, but he's now at Everton. But it just don't look good to see the man sitting on the bench and remember do a back
What is it
four.
about? What is happening with Cody? I don't
Ask Levon, brother, because it never made no sense to me.
So the thing is that I remember, I think it was you, Ryan, who spoke about it at bits that you have some defenders that looks excellent in a back three, but when you deploy them in a back four, they look lost. So I heard that's the case with Cody that whenever they put him in a back four, he's at sea. So they're working with Max Killman and Nathan Collins as the two to lead them forward.
So they want to play a back four.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't look good for Wolves. It just seemed very weird. And I mean, I know Noor was one of the standout players last season, but he had a horror show in the game against Leeds. I think he was the cause for the Rodrigo goal. I tried dribble out from the back, and I mean, well, Saw too, because we don't know how him to save that. That can probably be a own goal to Saw. And I mean, listen, when Bamford looked like he's getting back to tip top shape.
Man, he was damn good, fam.
Bro, he's probably the missing link where we keep Leeds up in
The touches also
the
in the game.
everything is coming back for
Ryan
Bamford.
supposed to say the man touch player, brother. Some true passes the man a lay, and I say, yo,
Yeah, I think it was his assist for the goal, the
one goal,
winner.
yeah.
Yeah, and he had a header too that saw a save, which was a big save, and I was like, yeah, Bamford is the missing link for this team. Yeah, and I know we were saying we're not sure where the goals are come from for these teams, but Bamford looking good, and Rodrigo looking good, and Aronson, he played well as well, even though he didn't get the goal at the end, but he played really well. So the goal for Neto, well, when him Podence, I mean, it kind of scrappy and whatever, but Neto and Podence there for chipping fouls as well. So maybe they will score some goals
They
going
need a
forward
central
in the league.
striker though, because Jimenez cannot keep fit anymore, so they need a central figure.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
Wang just is a hit and miss right now. Wang, it seems like the player that will, he's like Gabriel Jesus, scoring clusters and then they just go off color totally.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a decent game back and forth at times, but I think Leeds were the deserved winners on the day.
Yeah. And here's Casey saying that Guede is good talent, but haven't lived up to expectation at Valencia. I remember this was actually the United was scouting when they discovered Renato Sanchez. So yeah, it was
How
him.
old is Guedes now? Like in his 25, 26 year old?
I think it's 24, 25. He has been around a long while, and just like Neves,
Yeah,
because a
like
lot of persons thought that he was really old. But I say Terry just mentioned it. If Wolves is smart, they need to go for that youth from Porto. Ivan Elson. I think he's a superb talent and he's the next big thing to really come from Brazil in terms of striker. So they're smart. He's one they could possibly target, even though they want big money for him. Because United were going after him and they wanted around
right
60.
now, right now, a number 9 is a scarce commodity in football. You know?
That's a mess they need to go for that youth. Because that
Everybody
youth,
want to play wide striker.
yep,
And you realize the number 9s nowadays who are tall, you have to have good touch these days.
correct.
Yeah, man. You can't just tall and big and so you have to can touch and move.
Well,
So
Nunez now have that, so I'm not too
Nunez
sure.
have
Yo,
yeah.
chill, bro. But
Nunez,
right
the
now,
Haaland, the Kane, the Lewandowski, them big, yeah, that you have to can touch and move. Nunez have it, man.
I must stay right there with you, Ryan, because your game is where I'm going to go next. Everton against Chelsea, and I watched that game in its entirety. I mean, I love the first half performance from Everton. Yes, they did concede silly because there's absolutely no reason why the core gave away that fall. Because if you look back at the
You would
play,
love the first half from Everton.
I did in some aspects. I love what I
Yeah,
saw
they
from
played
Anthony
well,
Gordon.
you know. They played well.
Yeah,
They were solid and all of that.
remember Ryan? Remember that it's Everton we're talking about, you know. And Kim said the other night that they haven't looked good any at all. He doesn't expect anything at all from them. So that's why I said that I love what I saw from them in that first half. And them are great being a bit sensible. They
Yeah.
could have
Stay in the
possibly
league.
scored on you guys, but I remember that there was this play. I think it was a break that it was a
The
3 and
one-on-one with Silva.
yes, and all he had to do was just simply lay the pass better to Anthony Gardner. It would have been a 1v1 and
But you realize with Silva, people taking him on now because they realize if you isolate Silva, because
correct.
I think it was Anthony Gordon who took him on and beat him, and
Yep.
it was Koulibaly who blocked the shot.
But
So
even him, yeah,
that going to be a strategy.
you realize that he has been rusty for you guys so far.
Who that?
Same Koulibaly.
Rusty?
Yeah, he has been rusty in a sense in terms of you realize that there was one particular play, I think it was the same Anthony Gardner, you know, that was running away from him and he took one for the team in which he never needed to because there was a player covering and he grabbed him back. I was like, damn, this youth is going if
Well,
Everton is
Koulibaly
going to
no
stay
good,
up,
brother.
if Everton is going to stay up in this league, All
So
the
you
rest.
look Anthony gonna run towards you and gonna back up.
No, but man, it was a good game overall. So you can just go ahead and talk about it. I really never like your team's performance though.
Yeah,
I think
didn't
you
watch most
overcooked
of
a
the
lot
second
of
half.
plays.
I didn't watch most of the second half. I watched the first half in its entirety. I missed most of the second half. Yeah, but based on what I saw, it was nothing special, decent game. We just needed to get on the board. We did that. Sterling though was you can see the quality.
Yeah.
That Sterling brought. Sterling and Mount to me were the best players in attack.
Disagree.
Mount?
Disagree. Mount was absolutely lost. When I say lost, I mean
Mount was
lost in
taking
that
shot.
game.
Well, maybe as I said, I never watched the second half that much, but
No,
what I
Ryan.
saw in the first half from Mount,
First half, Mount was poor foul.
and he was the
Literally,
one
that
taking
was
the shot.
non-existent.
No man, Mount take
If,
about
if,
three
if,
shots in
if,
the
if,
first half.
if you ask me, Chelsea's best players in that first half were Sterling,
Definitely.
Conte. Reece James was doing nothing, but his crosses were
Rich James crosses were poor, and his
off.
corners were bad.
So,
Chilwell when he got on the ball.
yes, Chilwell was good. But otherwise from that, I don't think Mount was good. Mount was
Kante was
totally
very
off.
good.
But that is
No,
also
maybe because I'm judging from the fact that Mount was the one trying to take the shots. So
Yeah.
other than, as I say, you watch all of the game, I didn't. So maybe you
Yeah,
have
and
a
guess what? Let me point out this too. You see on that right side, Reece James was poor. If you look at it now, there's a lot of time that Mikolenko got behind him and he was nowhere to be seen. So that's something that you guys probably have to just look forward to when you play it against the top teams. But
No, you'll be all right.
I don't know if me watch something different, boss, but that game was absolutely atrocious. Like, me nearly drop asleep 4 times. I don't think Chelsea were impressive at all. There are a couple bright sparks, Sterling and Conte, and then second half, the debut of the Spanish left back. I mean, he was good when he came on, but other than that, Anthony Gordon, Sterling, and Conte are some standouts. But that game was very boring for
like I
me.
said,
I
the
don't.
first half was good in the demo, but the second half, damn, bro, it was worse.
All right, all right, boss. But yeah, Chelsea got the deserve win, I guess, in the end, based
Yeah, we
off
just
of them
need to
name.
get
But
on the
when I
board. I
see no
never care
way.
about pattern of play and this and that right now. I just wanted the 3 points.
That
We
game
can deal
should have
with that afterwards.
that game should have been a draw. That game should have been a draw game. As I totally agree with Dimo. I don't know where Levan see any excitement. Like I was literally
No,
falling.
you're not getting what I'm saying, Kims. The
Yeah,
excitement that I saw was from Anthony Gordon in that first half. That's the excitement that I saw. There was nothing else because I said Chelsea play was boring.
watching the totality of the game, I can't believe that this team, people say is going to, everybody are gonna be free to play, and this team are gonna be a force to be reckoned with. This team cannot continue this way. Cannot finish top four. Cannot. Probably not even top five. Probably 6, 7, 8 around those sides. But poor game. I think. So I just have a question, right?
Kai
Because
was what?
I was
Me just there
missing.
go ask, boss. Me just there go ask about the decline of this brother since him the other day, and the man say Kai Havertz was great.
I was
Anyway,
missing.
continue, your Kims.
well, so I have a question, right? What is, I guess, as a coach now, because I've seen from last season coming into this season, the thing with Everton defenders is that they have been very indisciplined and they have some brain farts at times. Like, for example, that penalty with the man, absolutely rubbish. And then some games last season, them get some red cards at some moments where you have no business getting a red card. It's like you're
Exactly.
not thinking. So as a coach now, what do you say to your player? What do you do? You sit him on the bench? Do you what do you do in a situation? And this is
Reggie,
a question.
they put a different player on the bench every week because every week it was a different player doing the same madness.
So then what do you do as a is it a indictment on the coach now, not doing something like what is going on with these players why they can't stay?
I don't know. Remember now, last season they were fighting to stay up, so they were becoming more. Say, they weren't playing with any tactics per se. They were more grafting. And when you graph, you subject yourself to cards, but the red cards I got were stupid. Most of them. But I don't know. I think now when you have a full season in front of you, you have to kind of approach it a little bit different. But I still don't think Everton have any team noteworthy to do anything except how they play trying to stay up last season. Apart from Anthony Gordon and one and two other people, what really don't have their defense shaky. So them lose Godfrey first game. And now Michael Keane, the disaster, might have to come in.
No, let's get Cody.
Oh, they get Cody now.
Yeah.
Oh, so they might have to ship out Keane because they realize that Holgate was preferred to Keane when Godfrey came on. So yeah, so I mean, I don't know. So I don't know what you do.
Yeah,
It's a good question, though, you know. I'm telling
It's
you.
a good question. It's a very good question.
I'm glad you brought it up because, as I pointed out with Ducour, he was actually playing good up until that point in time. Because
that is what always happened, though.
And it was just a stupid. There was no reason to do that.
Absolutely none.
Yeah, like that is what always happens with Everton. Like the player is playing good, and then all of a sudden he just do something so rash, and you have to like.
And watch I know. I'm glad to have got this again because look on even meaner, right? The yellow card that he picked up that first half, there was absolutely no reason to pick up the yellow card now. The referee already gave the free kick. Just move on. They are complaining for them and talk.
But isn't it the same reason why I got injured? It was just a stupid play.
Gotcha. Well, let's move on though. Next game we're going to look at is Leicester against Brentford. And man, this was an entertaining game. Ended 2-2. And I mean, Brentford had a chance that was chalked off eventually, but first off, Castagne sent Leicester into the lead. Then it was Vardy. Assisted by Vardy. But then the second half, as I pointed out when was it Friday, I said that Ivan Toney is going to score, and he did score, and also Josh Da Silva. Anything you guys want to say about this one?
Yeah, some ratty goal scored another game, boy, I tell you. That silver goal there. That silver goal there was a peach goal. And the other ombre goal for Leicester. The second goal them scored for Leicester. I think those,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, those I don't know if you see that goal there, but probably I know Demo attack say, the Newcastle goal, but these, especially the Shrewsbury goal was a piece of goal, man. But listen, Leicester, I'm done. At the first game, I'm a 7-9 over, but Leicester, I'm done with them from a betting ticket, boss. I have a ticket over here, so with Leicester for win. And it seems like Leicester is like them allergic to keeping a lead. When them have a lead and when them comfortable, it seems like
Leicester is done now. The Leicester project is done now. They are now back to being a mid-table team.
Yeah, boss. But again, the way if I'm to talk about the totality of the game, they were the better team. Over the totality of the game, they were the better team. They should have won the game. But it's just Leicester, and they'll always give you. It's like United will always concede a goal. Leicester will always give you an opportunity to either win the game or get a point out of the game. And I'm looking at now, and I guess you said the project is over. But some of the players probably need to leave. Probably Madison and those players, Talisman and those players need to go because I think it look really bad for those players right now that go in there playing out their heart, and the reflection of the team is playing is not a good reflection on those.
I think you can, like Dewsbury Hall now is coming up, you can basically try build the midfield around him in a sense. The Madison and the Talisman, they should be sold. Get some money in. Huh?
You say Fofana, yes, he's a big talent and all that, right? But there's no way a team is going to offer me £85 million and I'm going to turn down that. Take it and also accept the 60 that Newcastle offer you for Madison. That is what 140 million there.
Agreed.
Tillemans, I think a club bid like 25 for him. Take that bread and just reinvest it.
Exactly.
Remember, you and I had an argument, and I said that I think it was Everton who said that should have gone for Keane Lewis Potter. These are the sort of players that Leicester should have tried to
Exactly.
sign
Yeah.
and develop them. Because remember that Madison, he was at Norwich. They signed him
Norwich,
from Norwich. Look at him now. Look for these sort of players that are developing the championship and take them onto your belt and go over to League One, score the league, go even in Bundesliga and do the same. Because prime
The
example,
players are
Nottingham,
there. The players are there just for the teams to take the risk. They're there.
correctly,
And
correct.
you're getting good money. You're getting 85 for Farner, 60 for Madison, maybe 40 or 50 for Talisman. That's nearly
No man,
200.
25 them again now because 1 year I believe.
Or 1 year leave. Last year was part of that. Yeah. So, I mean, take the money and run. Fix a team. Rebuild a team.
Simple
Your
as that.
project, you know the team not going to get any better than the one that came fifth twice. You're not going to get any better. So just reinvest. Build it around Dewsbury all and them boys there. And redo. And Johnny Evans, 35.
They have a problem, man, because one, you
Evans
keep
is
a this,
35, you know, and him had a linchpin near defense. You know
yeah,
problem.
because guess what? The man who is going to replace him isn't good, and that's Soyuncu. Soyuncu not good, none at all.
Yes, it's a head
It
case.
is like your best keeper in
I hear that. I hear say that man was a top 5 defender in the league. At
Yeah,
one
man, he was hyped up big time when him just come in.
as
Nah, nah, but I say I will say it, you know.
always overhyped.
I said it because he was at the time when I said it.
Oh boy. But
He was on a
Dima,
good run. That's
Yeah.
all right, Dima, I'm not saying I rate the man not all, so I don't know if you have anything to say about this game. Then you did what you
No,
did.
I mean I guess the only good thing say wasn't half no set piece them concede, so
Yeah.
it's 2-2. We don't have nothing else to say.
All right. Let's just move on to the next game, and it's a game that a team was totally outclassed in every possible department of the game. And I'm talking about the team that I'm currently wearing the jersey. And you know what's funny? Life has a way to just return with certain things. And I remember the same Moises Caicedo. He was the one that I was talking about that Brighton won't miss Yves Bissouma because this guy is a super talent. Man United had the opportunity to sign this guy last season for £4 million. They had first refusal on him. They beat around the bush until Brighton started. You know what? Make we take him.
Can I say that's what nationality? So
Ecuadorian.
huh?
Ecuadorian.
Ecuador, yeah. I was
Because
wondering
Valencia
Ecuador.
was the one who recommended him to United and said, yeah, good talent, sign him and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, they didn't. And here he was causing them belly ache once again. He did the same thing last season when he scored a thunderbolt from outside the box and he ran that midfield again. But one thing I'll have to say,
And
there's
Trossard
one
is
curse.
such a joy to watch.
If there's one curse that comes with Jose Mourinho, is the curse of giving Scott McTominay the opportunity to debut for Man United because that man is absolute garbage. Unapologetically, that man is bug.
But
So Levan, why so much coach? Why every coach come and use him?
yep, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Because one, they said that he plays with heart.
Yeah, but every coach have the same philosophy.
That's what they say.
Yeah, but all of the coaches come have different philosophy. And for some reason they still stick with him.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, they said that he plays with heart, and
Yeah,
that's
so
it.
every coach pick a player because of my heart. It can't
Yes,
be that.
that is the only explanation with this guy because there's nothing you see that he has. I mean, Ryan, just think about this, and I mean, I'm going to let Kim talk about it, but how on earth do you have your DM in your team, right? And your goalkeeper had more passes completed in the game than your DM. How does that make sense? Your goalkeeper also had more touches of the ball than your DM. That makes any sense?
Well, who
Well,
was the DM? Does man even play with a DM?
you wouldn't. Well, you can't really. I don't think that's a DM fault. I don't think
It
that's
is
a DM
because
fault.
no, Kim's watching
The
against
DM is the engine room, you know. They're supposed to have more touch.
Yeah,
exactly.
he's supposed to, but I can't blame the. All right, if you watch the game, I can't blame the DM for that because I've seen if you're calling,
Bro, hold on. Why did you just say?
I can't blame the DM for not having more touches because if you're going to call, if we're talking about Scott McTominay, I see what the DM's supposed to do. Go collect the ball. He's there. They ignore him, right? For whatever reason, they ignore
him?
Huh?
That the man they say I go for collect ball. That man is ball shy, brother. That man was hiding from the ball right through.
No,
Let
that's
me point out. You see the first goal that Brighton scored?
Mm.
And that man won the ball in midfield because he was the one that went to the tackle to actually try to.
Fred, give it to her.
Huh?
No, Fred, give it to her.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
both of them right there, man. Both of them were right there. Fred was the one who gave it away, but he was right on the scene to try to win back the ball, and he didn't.
Yeah, Levan. So listen again. We can nitpick at these little things. There's a lot of DMs, world class DMs in the world, but go off a tackle and they don't win the ball and a goal score after them. So like,
Not as much as Scott McTominay.
I'm not going to nitpick at that. What I'm going again, I'm looking at the person. Listen, the only person that I see was able to get the best out of these players was one Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He was the only person,
Here
right?
we go.
So no, I'm not even talking about him, but this is facts, right? But what I'm going to say, Ten Hag, right? Ten Hag come in the business, right? Listen, when Ole first game, Ole got the W. Press conference first game, he won 1-0 versus Norwich, but it was shaky. Now Ten Hag lose big 2-1 versus Brighton, right? And I'm looking at the team, and again, what did he say? Oh, he's not going to part. Listen, and I listen to these coaches keenly. I'm not going to party with Ajax. There's a lot of work that needs to be done at Manchester United. So he's going to come over early, get the players in early, and do whatever. I am expecting, when I'm watching the game, show me something. When I ask them to show me a whole lot of anything, but just show me something that I can look on and I can say, okay, yes, this right here, so I can use this and build on for the next game against Brentford. That's what I'm looking at. Just show me something. I'm looking for something. I'm watching the game. I'm looking for something. The only thing them come and tell me, oh, well, a lot of work needs to be done. When I look at the players, listen, I've told you from before, Levon, that these players are atrocious. When we used to blame Ole, I say, boss, there's no way we can blame Ole, a man that win 29 games on the road unbeaten. We can't blame the man for that. We must have to look at these players individually. Fred, I've said it, he is just not good enough. Scott McTominay is not good enough. You cannot have these as a midfielder and then expect these midfielders to compete for top 4. It's impossible. It is.
You don't say in 36 seconds you mentioned that Norwegian name 5 times.
Yeah, that's okay. I should have mentioned it 35 times. But listen, like we can't have these midfielders in there. Listen, when they played against Brighton, the midfield was outrun. It was us outrun. That guy where you mentioned, it was like he was playing.
Yeah, the man boss the midfield. Boss it totally.
And then Fred giving away the ball loosely. And then Scott McTominay, what him want to do, it seemed like him thinks he is Messi or something. He get the ball and he might try dribble. And then guess what? He lose the ball and then he can't get back. And then I'm looking at Bruno. I hear that Bruno is the best thing at Manchester United. Absolutely horrible. Rashford, I give up on him. I give up on Rashford. This is the first game I give up on him. I don't even want. Listen, that man not supposed to be in the World Cup squad any time. He's just not good enough. And then now, let us go around the back line now. Maguire, and this new guy. One name. This new guy. Tell me his name, Levon.
Martinez.
Just call them M&M because they melt in front of goal mouth.
M&M. Danny Welbeck, of all people, do Martinez that.
Brother.
Maguire and Martinez, boy.
Alright, so here, since as we're breaking it down, seeing this is where I'm going to go with this. Number one, I never like the team selection. That's why. You can't have definitely cannot have my best passer in my team a play as far as 9. Never. And Christian Eriksen easily is the best passer in this United team. Right? Number 2, there's no way Luke Shaw missed the final 2 preseason game because of whatever over Malacia. Move that out of the way.
Malacia came on and was awful, you know.
Boss, Malacia came on in about the 87th minute.
I got a foolishness.
Alright. Point out this, but they never do as much as Shaw. The Shaw was culpable for almost every opportunity that
Shaw played more and longer, so obviously it's going to be more room for error.
Yeah, but even within the first 10 minutes, he was totally lost. But what I'm saying is that even Maguire Martinez, right? This is where I blame Ten Hag. These two guys never played together any at all during preseason, right? And if you had it in your mind that this is the tool that you're going to use as your centre back pairing, why not play them in preseason to develop an understanding and develop each other's game, right? Exactly. Because as I pointed out, Maguire is going to look world class, when a team possess the football. But see, whenever a team is placed under pressure, Maguire is going to look awful.
And they asked Maguire after the game, how much times have you guys, like, quote unquote, like, even trained together as a partnership? And the man said, not much. The man said, that is why you see out there, we look like, and I'm paraphrasing, we look like we don't know what we do.
Yeah,
Because I
because
don't
remember that
All right,
Martin.
but here's my thing. Here's my thing with Ten Hag now. All right, so you come into a team, a new environment. You come in and you see you're going to this, you're going to that, you're going to all of these things. You come into one of the most toxic dressing rooms based on last season.
Yep.
You outline where you're going to, you give rules, put on rules and whatever. And now you even say you're not going to pick Ronaldo because of what happened last week. You put on Ronaldo.
No, man, I never said that.
What did he say then?
It was more due to fitness, him say.
That
It was
is
more
what he
due to fitness. So
Fitness.
he
He said that he won't start him, but you'll partake in the game.
Oh, he said, okay, all right, fine, scrap that then. But anyway, you said that he said some other things in terms of the players there and they have to do this and that for him, or they won't play and some other stuff. And then the first game of the season, they turn up like this. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. So you expect the players not to take it serious?
Well, this is what I said, Ryan. I said it on the show that we had. I said the more things change, the more they remain the same. Right?
True.
And when listen, and Ten Hag.
Not to cut you though, but just want to add one more thing.
I don't think coaching is United's problem, you know.
No, but what players like to do, you know, I mean, I hear all of the old pros say this. They like to challenge a new coach and to see how far they can go with him. You know, like how fitness stay and whatever. So if you're going to go back on some of your words themselves early, you think the players then went to get that serious?
But watch out, Ryan. What I'm trying to put across is that even though we used to cuss out Kim's coach on a regular, I don't think United problem is a coaching problem. I think is the players that are at the club, they're just not good enough, and that's it. No matter what beat Mr. Press Conference, what did he say?
He said
that
it.
this team needs 10 first teamers. 10 demands. Man, even said 10.
Okay, so Levon, so let us shift the conversation now. So you said they need 10. I hear who's that? Who can tell me? Because I don't watch football as much as you. This guy coming in, Rabiot. How good is he?
Bro, Rabiot is a bug, brother.
Is a problem. Rabiot is a problem on the field and off the field.
All right.
So is Arnautovic.
I know you were a big Pogba fan, right?
You have a toxic dressing room. You're bringing in one of the most toxic players in football.
Exactly. Arnautovic and you see Arnautovic, not Arnautovic. Rabiot and his mom. Problem.
And remember, Arnautovic was at Inter with Jose, and Jose says he's a hard guy to coach.
And remember,
the man basically uncoachable. The man doing one. Huh?
They said he's also racist.
Well,
because if I see papers like Daily Mail and those start pushing the narrative, and United knowing all they connect with these papers, they won't sign up Arnautovic. But the thing is that, Kims, and this is the problem, you cannot spend a whole summer chasing Frankie de Jong with no alternative. The alternative that they had was Fabian Ruiz. They waited until PSG decided to show the man for Fabian Ruiz to try to go after him. Man already don't make up his mind. Why is it that they never go after the alternative since as Frankie used to say tough?
But that has all. But if I remember the Manchester United board from the past 4 or 5 years, this is what they have.
That's what I said. The board remain the same.
Yeah, it's like they love competition. Oh, okay. I'm not going to go after this player until Chelsea go after them. Then let me show my flexing power. And then what Chelsea do? Chelsea will just back off and they go overspend for the player and then he just doesn't fit the system. Right? Again, I'm looking at, as Dima just mentioned, Arnautovic or whatever I'm wanting. What we are doing this? Like what on earth could we possibly be wanting?
Give me Choupo-Moting over this one.
No, seriously, everyone. Like this is very serious now. Like this is Manchester United. This is not.
No, this is Prime Stoke City.
This is not.
Hold on there.
That United is a rich Stoke City.
Why would anybody just keep Cavani? If that was if we're going to come down.
Cavani never wants to stay. Cavani didn't want to stay. Cavani get a piece of the dressing room and said, "No, sir, I don't want this."
Boss. But Kim said like the more things change. Like, but them do this from. You remember when them go get Igalo and about 5-10 years just some weird signings man you do from Leeds, you know. Igalo,
it's like Ten Hag
Cavani.
coming and say, oh, the dressing room toxic. All right, me
From,
get two
from the
toxic
time
there.
from the time them go back for Falco and all of these weird signings, boss.
A regular milk up in the demo. Imagine Falco,
Ibra.
Zlatan,
Yes, Zlatan.
Cavani, the same Christie. Like
Some old people past them pride. Me not understand what really happened with
I'm not
the
go back.
man them, boss.
Me I go
So
back
at
to
this
2000.
point, I would just like to plug Let's Scare Medical for all Manchester United fans. Please go and get your checkup. Just to say.
and he's a Man United fan as well. But Ryan, what does this make sense? Fabian Ruiz, 26 years old. Adrian Rabiot, 27 years old. Rabiot, 17 million. Fabian Ruiz, 26 million. Common sense. Which one is better?
Rabiot is only 17 million.
Yeah, he's 17 because I think only has 1 year and Juventus are trying desperate to get rid of him.
Anybody should be trying to get rid of
Even at Paredes at PSG. Why is it that they couldn't go for Paredes? Quality midfield are just the same, but
them money also want to play some Champions League football.
But I don't understand what Ten Hag is looking for though.
Me neither.
That's the kind of
that's I mean, blame him still though. He's sold up this side.
Yeah. Well, we know Ten Hag
but
can get.
Levan is one thing for come in on day one and say, oh, I'm going to do this, that. And then when it come to the crunch, when the season begin, you just renege on all the tough start that we have. And you start become part of the dressing room.
You know what this reminds me?
Items.
No, I'm saying, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a man will warn you, say don't talk to that girl across the street, but you want peace out for yourself. You don't want him advice. Because press conference didn't want him, you know. Press conference said, listen. Press conference outlined everything. The man said, listen.
He did.
This situation that you're coming in is not easy. So, listen, Ryan, if you're going to take over a business and somebody said to you, hey, you need 10 new employees on the front line. You need 10 new ones. These ones just not good enough. I don't know. That's what
First thing I do, I go get the names of the 10 when not good enough. I'm going to look on a report. Them.
No, it's not 10 of them. The man said not good enough. The man said enough of them not good enough.
No, I'm just use Kem's example.
You need 10 new ones.
I just use Kem's example. I'm going to jettison for jettison.
What? Yeah, what?
Because at the end of the day, the mandate, I have the mandate, and at the end of the day, I can't afford for people to make me look bad.
Like Ten Hag know said this is not Ajax. Again, I tell you now play against 20 and them like a bug team there where you can beat up 15-0 and 16-2 and all them things. Like you're coming at this. Listen, they're going up against Brentford at Brentford Yard next week. I am not confident about this. I have Anthony against Maguire. I am not confident.
But hear what though, bro. And this is the thing before we close that, because we're not going to turn it into the show. We're not in a crying mode. But right now, brother, United is the perfect recipe for trolling now. Imagine having a coach named Ten Hag, and based on how they're playing, Jaja, rough. All I'll say is that this man has the perfect midfielder that he needs to use, and Dasher Fred. And
who is the perfect midfielder?
James Garner is the one that should be starting that midfield. So just give the youth him bus and look at him.
Okay, hold on. I know you want to move on, but hold on. Give me some confidence about this James Garner do. What can James Garner do to propel this Manchester United team? Or you just want the youths them play?
All right, so number one, way better reader of the football than these two that is playing right there.
What James Garner's position? Is he a CM? Is he a CDM? What? Wemdo?
CDM.
He's a CDM.
And he also depends based on how the team set up as well. If you have a DM beside him who sits, then he will go box to box. But generally he's a CDM. So also Kems, he's also one that is way superior to these guys in terms of ball retention and ball passing.
Okay. But I'm gonna ask you the same question though, Levan. Why these coaches will have them big UEFA license and all them things there? Why them never say? Why them not see what you see and say, well, all right. James
you have to give him a chance in preseason, but the thing is that he went on injured for the first 4 games of preseason, so he's not fully fit right now.
Good. with
Because
them.
he said it himself, He said it himself, Ghana, that he won't stay at United if he's just going to be a bench player. He wants to go to a Premier League club, just like Gallagher said when he was at Chelsea. So, yeah.
Let me just say this before you move on. Big up Brighton. I mean, it was a good win. They dominated, and it's so ironic that as Manchester United fans are talking about the strikers that they brought in, it was a man that they actually sold who dominated at Old Trafford with, with Danny Welbeck. Like, we can't believe Danny Welbeck looked like prime R9 against Manchester United and that backline. Like, it was just a joy to behold as a rival fan and Pascal Gross running the midfield and running the show. Big up Brighton. I mean, it would have been so easy
Right.
for them to drop them head after losing Cucurella and Basuma, two of them best players, but they went out there and they got the job done. Big up him name Graham Potter.
Yeah, you
But
realize because Pascal Gross, him don't score for nobody else.
6 goals in Premier League and 6
Exactly.
against them is against this team. But as I said, Nadimo, they don't miss Bissouma because you have Mwepu and then you have Caicedo. Caicedo is a supreme talent, man. I think this guy is 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So
And just look like him going to play.
wing back,
Oh,
left wing
yeah.
back.
It's a thing with Belgians and wing back.
Yeah. Manchester is a monster, man. But big up Brighton, man. Very good performance. Loved it. No joke. But the final game of the match weekend, and it's one that I know that one Shakes is smiling because when Shake said that Erling Haaland will score 40 goals overall in all competitions this season, a lot of people laughed at him. And the man actually put up 100 grand. Couple of guys took it. One of them back out say, yo, I think I only. All right. So Shake said all competitions. This man saying think Shake's on that talk about UCL and EPL. If a man say all competitions, that must mean say
Everything.
Europa Cup and all of them madness there. But I think one of them took it and Shake is on his way. 38 to go. Erling Haaland scored 2 goals. Man City beat West Ham, and West Ham were awful in that first half. Literally.
Oh, and he will be on penalty duties, no?
Correct.
Mm.
So
Oh, look.
they did what they had to. City got the win. And I know that one came to celebrating because he had Haaland in his FPL team. And I'm going to put up the point standing after we finish talking about the games. So
Oh Lord.
let's go. Anyone, take it on.
I'm sure you don't want to do that, but let me just say really quick because I don't really have much to say on this. Um, Antonio look like he eat too much food over the break. Don't look sharp at all. I don't know if because some new competition coming there for him, and I don't know if that's the reason why. But him don't look sharp. But again, it's one game, so we never kill him. And listen, as a City, and I see the commentators they were highlighting it. It looked like Pep said, "How can I challenge these guys a little bit more?" I see Ake and Diaz now all the way. It's like they're playing the number 6 role. They're no longer playing central defense. They're up in there. And sometimes I see Diaz all the way up, like he's playing the number 8 position. And I'm
Yeah,
saying,
because the wing back them tuck in.
yeah, and then they play Naran. That is why sometimes when West Ham got a break with Jared Bowen and those guys, they were able, but they weren't able to take full advantage of that. And I'm saying, what Pep is doing with this team. Listen, I don't know if he's going to ever win the Champions League, but listen, what he's doing with this team and how he has his players playing so versatile. This is how I know that only certain players can play for City. Like for example, like I know and I say he's a top 6 defender. Like I don't think a Tyron Mings could have fit in a City side. I don't think a quote unquote Chris Smalling, another baller woman like. I don't think a Chris Smalling could have fit in a I don't think a Chris Smalling could have seen a fit.
I think you're serious, like I pick some serious good names.
But Kim, the thing, I'm a fan of Ruben Diaz, yeah, but I don't think he's good. Why?
Why you don't think he's good?
All right. Yeah, so when that man is not playing in a team that possesses the ball, absolutely awful. Just watch Portugal national team. You see that man for Portugal is a completely total different football you're looking at.
Yeah, and again, listen, I guarantee you, if we go across defenders and we'll go and we'll say, okay, where are their strengths and where are their weaknesses, we can point it out with all defenders. Again, Diaz is just a guy where I like. I don't think he's a quote unquote world beater right now, but do we have that much quote unquote world beater defenders right now? At least central
I
defenders.
think he's
A
a
lot of
top 10. He's a top 10 defender right now.
yeah, yeah, on top 10, sure. A lot of persons say Van Dijk, but these last 2 years I've been watching Van Dijk. You know, you
No
got to
man,
get
Van
him
Dijk up the man.
What?
entirely.
That even makes sense. Well, okay.
Why doesn't it make sense? I'm saying the last 2 years I'm watching him, he's not on the same form that you guys praise him as the greatest defender since sliced bread and all of that. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
but Van Dijk just broke him foot.
so all right. So since him breaking foot, how long was we give him for him to come back to
But
that
then
quote
probably
unquote?
a year. Just come back from stuff like that and be back at your prime.
Didn't he play good last season though?
He was
No.
all right. He
Started
was all right.
very shaky. Started
Sparingly,
very
he
shaky.
was
Yeah,
just
but
okay last season.
he
He
was
was
very good
very
last
timid,
season.
didn't want to go in challenges,
If you
he
tell
never
me,
want to get hurt
if
again.
you tell me that Matip was better, I'm not gonna argue. But
Matip was miles better.
Van
Yeah.
Dijk was good last season.
No, I think Van Dijk was all right. I think 5 out
Van
of 10
Dijk
was
hardly
good.
going at challenges regardless.
But Kems just
Yeah.
said
So
it. That's exactly what he said, that he doesn't go into challenges.
from
Yeah.
ever
And
since from with the foot broke.
yeah, that's why
Yo,
when
which boy
Mirotic
I'm up
when
still doing it.
that's why when my boy wall him and flat out him backside, he don't know what to do. But hey,
I wish it
this
him.
huh?
I wish it
Mitrovic.
Mitrovic.
Mitrovic, man.
Yeah, Mitrovic, yeah. But but again, it's one game again. But I don't think City, quote unquote. I mean, obviously City was the better team, but I don't think their attacking was as sharp and was as crisp as we're used to from a City. I think for periods in the game was very boring, very lethargic, very just bland.
Because West Ham
Um,
was stuck in.
yeah,
West Ham was
yeah,
stuck in and they were kind of trying to neutralize City's
yeah.
space. City was moving all over and West Ham was trying to just stay with them, stay in the game and all of that. So that would make the game boring. It's not
But
like last season with the tour where West Ham sat back on the counter.
No
Jared Bowen
football.
didn't even touch the ball.
Me have
he
to read this
did.
Kems. It
But
was a boring game.
oh gosh, man, oh gosh, man.
Tore down.
And it seemed like when it seemed like me I play FIFA on Legendary.
But the game was not boring because at City, I think it was more West Ham would make it boring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if one side made it boring overall, then the game would be boring. And yeah, I found it that way.
yeah. But I'm sure we'll get. I don't. I'm sure we'll probably get a little bit more goals with City and Bournemouth. We'll probably get a little bit more goals there.
Yes,
Yeah,
man.
but there's something
Right
else with
now,
the
right
Pep.
now, I feel like triple captain all that next weekend. But yeah, continue, I say.
Yeah, I don't remember who yesterday was asking something about Pep and how the players move, and I gave them a definition for what Pep is doing: tactical periodization.
Yep.
So where I mean, players they don't play position, they play the period of the game. So if within that set period of the game, the game requires you to do something, you adjust to that.
Yep.
So a defender can become a midfielder,
Yep.
and all of the, and it's not every coach can teach that.
Not every quote. Like and it's so crazy, Ryan, that you mentioned that because it always seemed like I don't know. It always seemed like Pep just always get the players them to play that, and it seemed like they just do it so seamlessly.
No.
Like
Well, after a year, it becomes seamlessly.
yeah, after a year, yeah, sure. But hey, good game. Happy for City. Happy for Haaland to get 2 goals so I could win some money. So
All
that's it.
right. It's Christian saying that everyone said that Mitrovic is a championship player. If Fulham give him the game time throughout the season, he will score the goals.
Yeah, man,
I
that,
think they're going to give him the game time because what's your whole name again, man? Tony Khan. Tony Khan said that he pleaded with him not to leave, so yeah, they're going to play him throughout the season.
hey, what the Umber name? What the Umber name for Fulham? I don't know if he's still there. Kamara name is still there. The one that him and Mitrovic did a
Left
fight over
now,
the
man.
penalty. I did him though, right?
Let him go, man.
Or the man for rolling. Yeah.
On Blackbird, I don't.
Yeah.
In cut, man.
Okay.
Good while now, as a matter of fact. I think
A
about
good what?
season now.
Oh.
Yeah, man, I let him go, man. But all in off the mark, 2 goals for him, and he said that he should have scored that trick because Gundogan gave him a play that he should have buried as well. So yeah, but now let's go to the FPL and show how these guys are performing. And surprisingly,
It's one game. It's one game.
with a
In
business,
this one round.
the,
One round.
the table is being led by two females.
What?
Yep. Shanila Ellis, that normal tunes into the show. I know that she's busy right now with
Oh,
school.
and the girl, them bust now, so say.
Make it bigger, level. Make you see that.
Yeah, man, I go zoom it, man. So there it is, Shanila Ellis, and I think Shanila Ellis using both profiles as a matter of fact. So she's out front with 83 and 78
People get
respectively.
80 odd points.
Yeah, 83 and 78. So big up Shanila Ellis. Van, who now tune into the show every now and then, is right up there in fourth spot. And the man that is on the panel, he's smelling right. Look at it. Look at his number. Take a kill.
Wait, website name?
Hey, put up the side.
69 points.
Put up the side. Put up the side where everybody laugh off. And I say, oh, what a side they're going to do? A side they're not good. Put up,
Alright, so here's it.
Wait, Kim's using triple captain.
For some reason, it's triple captain. Watch it. Big up Cancelo with the nice 7 points. Big up Haaland with the big 26. Big up Wilson. Watch it. Watch it. Side. Lord. Hey, but let's see, where are the rest of the guys? Where are the rest of the guys who are on the panel? Where are they? Not in the top 10.
I'm going, man. Christoph Fuller, big up yourself, man. Christoph is at 6th. Morgan Zoops, I know him tune into the show as well. He's in 9th. And the man himself is there in 11th. Oh, I'm going good, man. I'm going too bad. Let me see if I find Demo now.
Boss, you know, they that further away
man,
from.
Demo way down in 17th.
17th. Uh-oh.
But I just one round. I don't understand what the excitement about.
Adrian Nicholson, the way down in 24th.
Yeah, that man enough
Fabi Frano in 22nd.
Yeah, Fabi Frano enough fitness side. You want to give the man more chance.
Half time, the 21st. Grandison the
Wait, half time they less than me.
Yeah.
After him saying get double digits one night.
Yeah, man, in the Leicester, yeah, man. Mark Bryan is in 20th. I think it's one other guy that tunes to the show that is somewhere around. Let me see. Tyrese, tell me the name of the team. I'm not spotting it right now, so tell me the team, Tyrese. I'm not back right now, but boy, it's interesting, man. I love it. I love where it's going and all of that. Dale Francis, I'm not seeing yours right now. I'm looking for it, but I'm not seeing it, man. I'm scan through again.
You're not getting the points. You're not getting the points, Dale Francis.
Oh, here he is.
Where?
Let me look at it. Boss, go on. Not seeing on the field, Dale Francis. Not seeing on the field.
Your side is?
Yeah, my side.
Sancho! Boy, Sancho, you better drop Sancho to your side expeditiously.
Brother, that man get dropped out on my side long time. What you talk about? Pick my side for the upcoming weekend already, boss.
Man, Jesus can your side, man.
Them man, they get dropped long time. Well, Jesus is still there. I still have him there because Leicester them I play against.
Leicester not score against Leicester backside.
We shall see.
As a matter of fact, Arsenal will lose all the game. So you can't stay.
Alright, I'll back for Terry's team because, as I said, we're going to put up all of the man number there on the show.
Don't worry, I'm going to extend this lead this upcoming weekend. I have some reinforcements to make.
Remember, so one free chance I have, unless you
go. We have 2 free transfer, boss.
Bro, 1 free chance I have. I'm not ask you that.
I'm sorry. Wait, when him say extend this lead, I mean him in a lead. We have a separate competition between the panel.
Yeah,
as
long as we beat Uno. Remember, Levon bet me, Levon bet me say in team I gonna beat mine. In bet me.
Oh, so Terrace is in 16th.
God, all them things.
But Demo, tell this guy that he only have 1 free transfer per week.
we am new to FPL, man. I
No,
know.
boss, man, I tell you, say two.
Kems, when I ask you, Kems, a one free chance that everybody get for the first week. Only way you end up with two is if you don't take the first one right now and you go into next week.
Oh, the one man for true, man. I want.
If you want to make other changes, you're going to lose 4 points for each change that you make.
No, I can't use me.
Unless I use free the free hits and all of those
Yeah.
nonsense for no, and I'll just do you want to do, yeah, man, as a matter of fact. I tell everyone for the but FPL will be interesting, man. I think this will be fun going forward, and I'm just going to wrap up the show right now because we have been here for a while. So, gentlemen, let me just run around the room. Ryan, give me a minute and let's just close off.
Well, the minute basically can't leave out the world under 20.
West Indies get swept.
Well, I expected West Indies to get beaten. I split from the squads were picked. I said India coming in. India coming in with almost a second string team, and they're going wipe the floor with us. They won 7-1 basically in the two formats expected. Under 20, our best performance ever. Well done to the guys. Hopefully that they can matriculate, most of them, and become top class athletes, world class athletes, and so the future looks bright. And good opening week of the Premier League. We don't have any shocks as yet, but so some shocks going to come along the way, and you're going to have some interesting games this weekend. So hopefully, the only problem is that some of us right now want to really figure out how to watch all of the match them as we used to, because we're basically adjusting to not having it on live TV. But we'll figure it out in short order. And so some very interesting match coming on this weekend. So all the bettors know what to do. And I know I said them guys here will guide them as well.
That is it, man. Tyrese, yeah, man. Actually, it was Christopher who won the competition last season, and for those who don't know, it's the same Christopher Harvey that normally plays for above you from back in the days, man. MCM man. But Demo, here a minute.
Yeah, quickly just want to say, the victimization continues of Raheem Cornwall and his weight. A team that was selected for the West Indies, he was not selected as one of the best cricketers in the Caribbean, and that is just absolute nonsense. While he continues to smash the ball all over the place in the not New York, in the USA. So big up yourself, Cornwall, go on the way you do. The fat people they must strive. Don't worry yourself. Also, I want to say that West Indies need to buckle up and find something before the World Cup start, because people have a lot of hopes going into the World Cup coming up, and they will be in Jamaica. I think probably about 2 or 3 days from now. T20s against New Zealand, so finding yourself over, so buying a park if you can and go support the West Indies team. Obviously not when them send Jason Holder for go open, but when they make some sense. So you can go support the West Indies in Jamaica. You can go support the West Indies in Jamaica and watch some T20 cricket against top quality opposition. So a lot of cricket going on, so go on take it in and support and rally around the West Indies.
All right, Sir Kims.
Hey, who is this Merriam Garden guy? I hear he's taking over the Reggae Boys for this Austria tour, August 20 to 26. Where is he from? What does he do? What is his credentials?
He was a good high school coach, as far as I can remember, with Lennon and those teams. Did a thing at I think he coached Sporting Central or one of those teams down there at one point in time, but average.
So that's another puppet, another JFF puppet. Okay. All right, cool. That's all. Because I was reading this article, and they say he'll be taking over the boys' squad. So.
And big coach Tapper Whitmore gone Mount Pleasant. What
a travesty. What else? Nice to be in the top 5. For the FPL. You have to set the standard early, make people know so you're not play with them. Make people know say a serious business around here, right? So you set it early, all right.
Ryan, I need to join it in, brother.
No, Ryan, I got coming too much. Last year, I joined late. I'm still beat up people. I joined 5 weeks late. I'm still beat up people. Some of them some
Or the
evidence.
discipline, me not sure me have a weekly discipline like you know, but me go get a shot.
Get a
Yeah, man.
shot, man.
Yeah, man. Get a shot. Man. And people, the middle of September, there's a big race. There's a big race coming up. There's been constant disrespect from Levon, Ryan, and Vinny saying that they're going to beat me in a race. Remember, guys, I am at 10. I am at 10.4 100-meter runner at my best, right? And at 21 low in the 200 at my best. These guys have
All
never
right,
touched
hold
a
on, hold on, hold
chevron.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Joe
Make sure I
Cameron.
add a
Joe
disclaimer. Now,
Cameron.
disclaimer. This was done when he was around 15 or 16 thereabouts. Since then, his PBs have been 15 seconds and 30 seconds about events.
Listen, people. These guys. So we're going to stream it live on sport, and I promise you, I'm going to embarrass these guys. I am going to. When I reach at the finish line, I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him like a puppy. So, guys, just make sure you tune in September somewhere in the middle of September. All right. Thank you.
So what we're doing? 1 and 2 or just one?
Huh?
One.
Just one.
Yeah, you
Well,
can't
one
manage
on
to.
which two?
Right,
I
it's like
wanna.
you and this man did.
Oh,
Hey,
when
when I was at school, I was a 200 runner for a reason. I don't have the best start, but me run it down.
you don't run down nobody in this.
I big up yourself, Felicia, because I'm not saying it's a tracks person, but here you're on the football stream, big up, man. But the race will be live on Sports Frenzy, man. We can't go around that
We're
live,
gonna, rec-
live,
we're
live.
gonna record it again because we need to watch it over and over and over. The dominance that I will have. Listen, this is not even going to be close, people. Hey, all right. But show now a little preview
I love
today.
when look at them talk up themselves and nice when they get their swoop. Yeah, man, just going
Just
on.
show we are preview of what exactly.
I'll show you a
After
preview
the
today.
two first
You
up,
saw
what
it
that
in the
running?
group. You
What that
saw it
happened
in the
running?
group. This is what I'll say though. Let me just preface my comments by saying I'm just coming back from injury. I'm coming back from a hamstring. No, I have to be transparent to the people. So people, I know you guys probably bet your money on me and so, but I'm just coming back from a hamstring injury. I'm going to physio every day to get it healed. I have the money for go Germany and the places, so I'm doing it locally. But it should be ready by September. So
Well,
Adrian,
yes, I've
you
been no.
you're at the end of the day, you're in your prime. You're supposed to beat me comfortably.
Levon supposed to
And if
beat
you
me
not do that,
comfortably.
Kems, I can tell this much. I am going to beat you.
Right.
I am a buggy I could come here with next time.
you're on level and on a prime, me supposed to get a comfortable beating. If you
Yeah,
not do
you
that,
will. No, you will. You will.
if
You
you
will.
not do that,
You will.
But you
okay.
know, I'm sorry for still. I like beat up on the whole this, you know, but I'm sorry for Vinny still, you know.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry for
We
being.
are like giving you a 20-meter head start for sure you how we are dealing with 20-meter
Yep.
head start.
Yep. I wish Demo could have come in at the race. Don't want everybody coming at the race.
No, that's not my forte.
But there's a lot of interesting things to come on the show, man. At some point, man, even a cook off also between us, man. So
Oh,
let's look forward to all those things, guys. And also, so a cricket match is in the plan as well, man. So yeah, man, just
Yeah.
look forward to those things.
Kem's promise for bowl me, you know.
Yeah, man.
A bowl, let's take a bowl me, you know.
So
naturally.
I go there for that one, man.
Demo say we're not
For come what? Me can umpire the game for no, but me not play. Bro, what?
Oh boy. But yeah, man, big up guys, man. Respect for being here. Big up Demon, big up Ryan, big up Kems, and to you the viewers, big up on yourself, man. Remember to drop a simple like on the video. Let's get it growing, man. And as I always say to you guys, if you wanna make the track people and kick on the foot, come on, man. You guys need to grow the football fan base just as the tracks people has grown the track.
Yep.
So let's get it up there, man. I want to see 100, 200, 300, there's a thousand people on a football stream more. So come on, man, let's get it done because we plan some live watch alongs at some point this season. So let's get it done, man. And big up to the man behind the scenes just for making this possible. And big up to our sponsors. Let's Care Medical and Let's Care Optical. Visit them at their 3 branches in Manchester, that's in Mandeville, Santa Cruz, and also in Montego Bay. And always remember to just simply tell them, say, a Sports Friends is sending them, man. Use the code Sports Friends, they get 20% off any eyeglassware. Just do the right stuff, man. So continue supporting Let's Care Medical, Let's Care Optical. And until we see again, guys, hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the night. So as always, I'm just going to end the stream by playing the Had Summer Spun.